Yeah, Johnny Somalian. I gotta sit there and say that this man, this kid, because I refuse to call him a man, this kid is literally his own worst enemy. Okay? I feel like at this point he's doing everything that he possibly can to go to jail. He pretty much is like F his freedom at this point, right? Because he is realistically looking, because here's the thing, everyone keeps saying he's going to get like 39 years, he's going to get 40 years or whatever. He very well may get that. I'm guessing if we had to sit there and guess, I would sit there and say about 3 to 5 years max, right? Because this guy is operating on a level where he feels that he's not going to go to jail, that everything that he's getting charged with, he feels is not a crime. And this is the problem with people who generally grow up in America. They think that the laws that go on over here is going to transfer to everywhere else. A couple of things that he doesn't understand is that foreign countries, well, they don't really like us. Let's be honest. There's a lot of foreign countries that don't like us. And they will use our asses as an example to sit there and say, this is what happens when you F around and you find out. Right? The way he has been playing this whole trial from start to finish, it's almost like, I mean, I know that he has a public defender, but he is making that public defender's job way harder than it needs to be. I don't understand. It's almost like he wants to go to jail, right? And no one wants to go to jail. I can't imagine going to a foreign country's jail. Okay, because if here's the thing, if you think that the U.S. jail is bad, can you imagine going to jail in a foreign goddamn country? So, you want to explain to me how this idiot decides to get drunk the night before his trial, stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning taking shots or whatever and everything like that, to show up to his trial an hour late. Okay, this man showed up to his trial an hour late, right? He is making faces at Atozy and Legal Mind and everything like that. He's acting like it's not a big deal. He's lying to his judge's face. He's going back on stream. He's just saying what the judging is. This trial is BS. I'm not going to jail. I can leave at any point in time. I'm like, bro, I don't understand. I mean, one thing I gotta give him credit for is that this man is going to go out in a blaze of glory, because what he doesn't understand or what he doesn't care about is that everything that he does, every live stream that he makes, anybody with a party account can go on there, watch this stuff, screenshot this stuff, and then just be like, oh, but the next time he goes in trial and he wants to sit there and play the whole, oh, I'm just a student and I don't know, and, you know, any sort of like stuff that the lawyer wants to sit there, it's like he's making the prosecutor's job so much more easier. So much more easier. And then he goes back on these streams and he's threatening people. He is threatening to sit there and cause more chaos and all the charges that he's doing, he's like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. You give me money, I'll sit there and keep doing it. So what is he doing? He's drinking, he's crashing out, he is flashing a pew pew and everything like that. I mean, this guy's like, yo, listen, you give me money, you give me donations, I will crash the F out. So now he's following streamers like Nana and Slightly Homeless to the point where they went to the cops and they filed a police report. His one friend, his enabler at this point, is calling the police to try to sit there and try to get these charges dismissed or whatever. And you can watch it on Atozi or Legal Mind or I think like 15 Minutes or whatever and see how that goes. The reason why I'm not going to put this stuff up because Johnny decides, I'm going to copy strike anyone that is remotely showing my image or videos of me or whatever, which is actually kind of stupid in a sense because let me just ask you a question. Do you know what Party.com is? So, Party.com is for people who get kicked off or get banned from Kick. Let me tell you something, bro. Kick is probably, next to Rumble, is probably the most lenient site that you can sit there and stream and make videos on. That means that if you get banned from Kick and Rumble, you know you screwed up. YouTube, you can honestly sit there and be like, yeah, YouTube can definitely be doing some stuff sometimes. Twitch is probably among the worst sites because just how imbalanced that they are. But you get banned from Kick, you're beyond the point of like redemption at this point. And the reason why I sit there and say it's so stupid that he is copy striking people's channels is because it's like, bro, let me tell you something. Do you not understand that people like Atozi and 15 Minutes and Legal Mind, they're actually doing you a favor in a sense? Because no one in their right mind is sitting there, like no one knows about Party. Do you know about Party? Do you know about Party.com or whatever? I think that's what it is. That's where Jack Doherty also like promotes or does his streaming stuff on. Yeah, most people don't know about that. So if people don't really know about the site that you're on, don't you think it's probably not in your best interest to falsely copyright and try to get these channels taken down because in reality they're keeping your name relevant, they're talking about you in a sense. Even if they're talking about you in a bad way, they're still talking about you. And why he's not there doing that and he's talking about how he's going to do some more stuff or whatever, bro, all you're doing is hurting your own goddamn case. It's like you are actively trying to get yourself in jail as much long as you can. Oh, by the way, he also threatened to sit there and do some more indecent stuff or whatever to that statue. Before I wrap up this video, this is something that I find very interesting. I've never seen so many different streamers, so many YouTubers, so many content creators talk about Johnny, have so many people in their comment section pretty much talk about how they want Johnny to get the maximum sentence. The maximum sentence. They want him to go to jail for years and years and years. And I've never seen so many people united to want him to get the maximum sentence. Because he's we have a list of nuisance streamers, right? Just absolute degenerate a-holes that bother people, harass people, say racist, rude, disgusting comments, do things to people because they want clout and money. And he is just in that long list of people that do this type of stuff, right? And now, if you don't take my word for it, ask Johnny. He's literally sat there and said multiple times, or at least in one particular stream, that he does things for money, he does things for clout. He'll say whatever, he'll do whatever. He doesn't care. He just wants to sit there and get the money and the clout. Doesn't matter at what cost? Because let's be honest, he sold his soul for clout, money, and attention a long time ago, right? A long time ago. And I remember some asshole in my own comment section said to me, he didn't hurt anyone. It's not like he physically hurt anyone. Okay, you know what? To the asshole that actually sat there and said that, go to a foreign country, do the stuff that he did, and see if your ass won't get locked up. Okay? Because you can tell that he is one of those Johnny Somalian people that that is rooting for him. It's amazing. I've been doing this for like 6 years, right? And I've been streaming for like 3 years. I don't know if I ever will sit there and do IRL content, but I can tell you something right now. I will never sit there and actively try to build a community that is just looking for my downfall. Because let's be honest, you know, the whole TTS or text-to-speech and stuff like that, that stuff is designed to put Johnny and anybody else in the most uncomfortable positions and situations as possible to get a good laugh or whatever, because those people will sit there and say the most vilest stuff possible. And of course, most, and I'm not saying all kick streamers, but most kick streamers, people like Johnny, people like Ice, people like Sam, and so on and so on, are kick streamers because they like to participate in that type of degenerate stuff, you know? How many times have Johnny sat there and blast music or had this TTSA stuff and then he just sit there and say, well, I'm a troll and I don't know any better and, you know, this is just what I do and I can't control the chat. And then backtrack 15 minutes later on when he gets someplace safe and like, well, I did it and I don't give an F. Do you realize that this that this man, this kid actually called the cops, literally called the cops to curse them out, and then kept doing it because he was like, the more money I get, you send me $100 donation, I will call the cops. And that's what he started doing. He started calling the cops left and right. And I'm like, bro, are you serious? Now, when I was at work, I was sitting there thinking about, like, you know, maybe I should sit there and show some clips or whatever, right? But then I remember that he is actively trying to get one particular YouTuber, I think it's like 15 minutes or whatever. He's trying to get that channel, disappeared or whatever. Which is only hurting him in a sense because he wants to stay relevant, but just to play it safe, I was like, you know, let me not sit there and try to, you know, put any clips out. You know, give this degenerate any sort of ammunition to sit there and take down my channel. But again, I'm like, what's the point of you doing that? Because you're not on any site that is well known. So my whole thing is like, if people aren't talking about you, you ain't getting the clicks and views that you want to get. So like, I don't understand the point of doing that. That really kind of serves or goes against you. Anyway, if I missed anything, let me know in the comment section. I may or may not do a part 2. Put up some videos and kind of just sit there and react to him and talk about his crash out shit. But that's just some of the stuff that he's been up to. He has a court case that's coming up soon. It's going to be very interesting to sit there and see how it works because, I mean, the justice system out there, the way that things work is a little kind of acidine to me, if you're going to be honest. Because what they're doing essentially is that they don't want to put him in jail. They don't want to put him in jail and wait for his trial. So, because, you know, you put him in jail, it wastes the tax dollars, or, you know, the money comes from the people, right? So you don't want to put him in jail, but you sit there and tell him that he can't work. So he can't work, So essentially, he's supposed to be on the streets, pretty much being a bum, right? Like, I don't understand how that. I get that they don't want the burden to sit there and housing these people to come on the people. But then you just need to tell him that he can't work. And essentially, you just need to tell him that he can't stream. So what is he supposed to do for money? I don't know. Answer that question for me if you can. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I'm going to do a part 2, and I'm actually going to sit there and do some videos. But I want to sit there and get my quick thoughts and stuff like that while I still had them. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.